Welcome back to Northwest Tank Line Super Bowl show, coming to you from Radio Row in Phoenix at the Convention Center, our 22nd year at the big game. And, of course, our next guest was the hero of Super Bowl 42 in Arizona. We were here, the man himself, David Tyree, wide receiver of the Giants in that Super Bowl. David, thanks for stopping by.
Man, I'm super thrilled to be here with you, Bob. How's everything going?
It's going well, man. But let me ask you, coming back to Phoenix for a Super Bowl, is it kind of like a little nostalgic for you?
Yeah, we looked up a few months ago and we realized, man, it's 15 years since the helmet catch and the Super Bowl's back in Arizona. I said, we got to get into the action. Like sometimes I'm out here, sometimes I'm not. Raised 7 beautiful kids. But, everything lined up well, and we're happy to be here.
Hey, we were talking about Syracuse before. We talked about Robert Drummond, former BC Lion, some other guys. David Byrd played for the Lions. You played with them. Syracuse has like a little broadcast booth over there.
I just saw that.
You know what? I walked up to him and I said, so just wondering, how old are you kids? We were all born like 99, 2000. I'm like, dude, I've been going to Super Bowls longer than you've been alive.
It's fantastic.
You just said 15 years, man. We're getting old.
Yeah. My oldest son's 21, just left for the Air Force this week. And I'm starting to get it. I was 21 when I had him. He's 21, leaving for the Air Force. I'm like, okay, life's changing. You're an old guy.
Speaking of life changing, how life changing was that catch?
Yeah, it was everything. It was a moment for me. It was a moment of fulfillment and validation. You come in as a special teams player, just trying to find a role. And that happens. You make All-Pro. But I was also fighting for a role as a receiver throughout my whole career, and it never panned out the way I ever envisioned it. And it was crazy. In that one moment, it was a career's worth of validation, right? Like I couldn't have never imagined or scripted that I would be a part of the NFL narrative or history for the rest of my life.
Take us through the play in the huddle.
Yep.
The call by Eli, and just the play itself. And do you feel like the ball could be coming your way? Because a lot of times when the call is made, a receiver pretty much knows where the ball is going. Right?
It was definitely an opportunity. 76 max, wide sail union, max protection, 76 to protection. The sail route is a post by myself, outright by Steve Smith. We got union on the backside with some in-breaking routes with Amani and Plax. And obviously they ran quarters on one side, 2 on the other. So we had the perfect dial-up. And if they would have cheated on that Steve Smith route, they could throw the post over the top, but usually it's a dummy route. Usually it's take the top off the coverage, and if they don't play stupid. None of that mattered. Thank God the offensive lineman just olayed and set me up just for some good old backyard ball. Eli becomes Vanilla Vic. I'm the black guy who can't jump, and we got 2 miracles in one to beat the Patriots.
And that's the crazy thing. Everyone talks about the catch. But Eli getting away from, I think it's Green at the time. Yeah. Because that's crazy in itself. There's 2 components to this great play.
2 miracles, because at the end, everybody remembers Eli. You could blow on Eli with, and he would fall. Sometimes it looks like his shoes were tied. Like just trying to leave the pocket. So those were, of course we banter on each other. And listen, I dropped every pass on the Friday practice. That's been well told too. So it was a lot of storyline behind that, which made it so iconic, and just grateful to be a part of it.
And you had a touchdown reception in the fourth quarter, right?
I call it the most forgotten touchdown in Super Bowl history. I felt like I fit a couple different narratives with the 2 plays that I made, but it's all good.
They scored the touchdown to go ahead on that ensuing drive.
Sure.
You know what the first thought in my mind was?
What's that?
You've given Brady too much time. Because there's still like a minute and a half left, and I'm thinking to myself.
It was a few minutes, because we get the ball back with like a minute and some change. So,
I was thinking to myself, you're giving it too much time. For whatever reason, it seemed like even in the other Super Bowl in Indy, whatever it was, Giants were almost like Brady's kryptonite.
There it is. I know it's fun for Eli. I know they get the Manning cast, and they get a chance to banter. And, obviously at the quarterback level, that's a whole other elite level of communication. I don't have frequency up there in their world. But, I think he proved to be that. Even in a regular season game, he had his number. It was just – he just played his best against Patriots.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Yeah. I think if there's a question, it's is he a first ballot? I don't know about that. I think he's definitely a Hall of Famer. The longevity and the success speaks to it.
You've got a lot of stuff going on after football. You've got a podcast called Catch the Moment with David Tyree, and you also have a catch cam.
Yeah.
How would this catch cam have worked with your catch?
Yeah, catch camp is like my journey through sports. So we do foundational football. Came in as a special teams player. We don't want to get too sexy with it. We want to make sure these kids actually can play the game. And then so we feed the dream and we paint the reality. In the afternoon, we do leadership development and careers in sports. The CAT serves as an acronym for commitment, attitude, tenacity, creativity, and hard work. So we're giving them everything that they need to be successful throughout the life cycle.
By the way, my apologies because it says catch cam on the bio, and I thought it was a camera. It's actually a camp. Somebody forgot the P in catch camp.
Yeah, they forgot the P, catch camp. We actually just did our first one right here in Glendale this past weekend, February 3rd through the 5th. So we're excited to bring it back home to Jersey this summer.
How much fun is that for you, like when you interact with young kids? Because man, you hear it all the time, especially guys that played pro.
Yeah.
They'll talk about meeting, a pro when they were like 8 or 9 and what it did for them in terms of inspiration and keeping them to move forward.
It's amazing. That wasn't an experience for me as a kid, so now being able to give that is pretty meaningful. We had a bunch of other players. Prince of Mukamura, he's a local kid, showed up. Derek Hagan, Michael Boley. So this was a great one here that we were able to do. But I think the main thing is, we have to get these kids young and give them the right insight and information so that not only that they can, pursue their dream, so that they can be prepared to, if sports is your motivator, you can achieve the highest measure of success, whether it's in broadcasting, in business. There's esports. There's so many different avenues to be associated with your passion. So we wanted to complete the deal, seal the deal, and also give them everything they need on the field.
Hey, you're influencing young kids right now.
Sure.
Who influenced you?
One of my biggest influences off the top of my head is and my mom was my, God rest her soul, but we would watch the U.S. Open. We would watch all kind of sports. So she was my biggest fan, and the biggest inspiration for me was my strength coach at Syracuse. It didn't go well for me according to script. I didn't go to Syracuse to become a special teams player. I got recruited pretty well. So I had the man William Hicks. He believed in me, and that is it's a powerful thing when people believe in you, and I think that speaks to every person at any age.
Yeah, and it's amazing if you can have that support system and that one person who believes in you, because especially when you're a young person, there's so many emotional highs and lows, and if you can get that person that just to kind of keep you balanced, even when you have that great success.
I was ready to transfer, man. I was ready to, and I think just sticking in it, there's transfer portal, that's another conversation, but just sticking with it and weathering the storm, it cultivated a different kind of character, resolve, even self-awareness. And I think that's been the superpower for me.
And you've had tremendous success both with the team level and individually. And at the same time, that's another thing too. Is like, how do you handle that success now?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, are you still the David Tyree?
Yeah.
Hey, before we let you go, who do you like in the game and why?
I'm excited about the Chiefs. I picked them to win it in the preseason, and to me, alongside of Patrick Mahomes, they score maybe a point more than they did without Cheetah. It's the guy's competitive nature. He's special, and I think they're going to win a tight game against a tough Philadelphia team.
Hey, you're a receiver. Our friends at Bet99 will have a whole bunch of props. A.J. Brown, 72 yards over or under in terms of receiving yardage.
I'll give him over. Like I said, I think he's a beast. I think it's going to be a good competitive game. I'll give him over.
David, thanks so much for doing this. Best of luck again. The website is davidtyree85.com. Also, the Catch Camp podcast. Great stuff, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Appreciate everything, man.